Toi fait, toi racino, je t'ai oublié, ramassé, changé. Toi fait, toi racino, je t'ai oublié, ramassé, changé.
It's important to learn where you're from and your own roots, whether it be whatever language it is. And in my case, it was a lot of French, whether it was the Sicilian or the Spanish people who turned French and learned French and changed their names to French, or the actual French and Creole French. That's a part of who I am.
When I was growing up, it wasn't Creole, it was Creole, and it was a language. It was the language of my ancestors, of my parents, of my grandparents. It was the language that my whole family spoke to each other. There's a lot of code switching between French and Creole, like in my family. So I recognize that now as an adult, but as a kid, I thought it was just all one language. In Haiti, everybody speaks Haitian Creole. Some people speak French, and the people that speak French, it's because they've had access to higher education. I spent a summer with my grandmother in Haiti in 1995. I was 10 years old. When I came back and I was speaking a lot of Creole, and I had family members in New York who were like, oh, but you don't know French, and it's like this kind of snooty thing. So it's an interesting thing to think about now as an adult, because I'm like, frankly, I didn't understand the difference. I saw it all as a part of Haiti.
Toi fait, toi racino, je t'ai oublié, ramassé, changé. Toi fait, toi racino, je t'ai oublié, ramassé, changé. Moi qui passé, moi, toi fait tomber là-dedans, je t'ai oublié, ramassé, changé.
It has been like one of the most deeply satisfying pursuits of my life to learn these songs, to connect with this language and this culture. I really have hit a nerve in my creative path that is teaching me a lot about not only where I come from, but where we all come from. Because everything is connected. It isn't like you can cleanly separate your story from anybody else's. And I think that that's one of the beautiful things about learning these languages through song is like, oh, these songs are so relatable, across cultures. The more I understand about the music, the more it feeds into my understanding about the history. These came from the Haitian Revolution. It came from the enslaved people of Saint-Domingue, who started a revolution in 1791 and started emigrating to Louisiana.
Growing up in the 1980s in South Louisiana, didn't really think much about cultural identity. I was raised in a family band that played Cajun French music. So eventually the word Cajun, started being used as a genre, and then as a people associated with the Acadians, and that's often what is taught as far as where Louisiana French heritage comes from. But, my family started telling me stories about where the Michots came from, and they came from Port-au-Prince via France. And my great-grandma, when my dad and them started a Cajun band, she told them, y'all have the audacity to call yourselves Cajun? We're Creole.
I think we're trying to understand what we've inherited. And to me, that is so essential to the story of this music, because it comes from our collective kind of colonial history.
I learned Louisiana French on my own as a teenager, and I traveled and I learned from people in other French-speaking places as well as home, and I learned from people that speak Louisiana Creole, and I learned from people that speak Cajun French, and obviously Creole is very different, and the Louisiana Creole is very different than the Haitian Creole. Approaching it with an open mind for me, someone who learned later in life, is that's how you can communicate between cultures. Some people say, oh, I don't understand that person. Well, just talk a little longer and you can kind of see what's going on. But that's how Louisiana Creole is too.
Usually pour trouver un job à rien faire. Où je vais aller pour trouver les plats tout mis sur la table.
Usually pour trouver un plat to me, les plats to me sur la table de ma maison. Once I started singing French, I found my voice and I found my range, which is actually the same time I played fiddle. And learning French was completely like filling in a missing link to me. And it's really become an important part of my life and my art.
I love Louis as a person, and I've learned a lot. I feel like every time me and Louis get to play music together, it's a lesson for me. I'm learning about his culture and his experience, and also I'm learning about how to play with traditional music and traditional forms, and how to kind of turn them around and spin them upside down and have fun with them and make them sound like they are also from today. The journey of understanding the world that we live in never ends, and that's something that is one of the most interesting and enriching pursuits of your life.
Toi fais, toi racino, j'ai déplié, ramassé, songé. Toi fais, toi racino, j'ai déplié, ramassé, songé. Moi qui ai passé, moi, toi fais tomber là-dedans, j'ai déplié, ramassé, songé. Moi qui ai passé, moi, toi fais tomber là-dedans, j'ai déplié, ramassé, songé. Toi fais tomber dans le bassin, moi. 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 Toi fais tomber dans le bassin, moi.